Architectural Builder Supply is pleased to present you with this recording of the technical question that is listed in the title of this video.
This call may be monitored and recorded for quality assurance.
Sir, you wanted to talk about wide throw hinges?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what can I help you with?
Well, I was looking for 4 hinges that were approximately 4 by 5. We were hoping to try to get those in stainless steel that could be either finished or powder coated with oil rub bronze finish, and with a security. It's an outswing door, so we'd like the security pins. And just seeing if you had anything close to that, or
close to that in what regard?
In all of those specifications?
Well, don't need to be close to that. I can give you precisely those requirements.
Okay, good. Do you offer bearing hinges in those?
Sure.
Okay. So it'd be 4 by 5, bearing hinged, stainless steel with a oil rub bronze finish with the security pin or.
So you wouldn't do an oil rub bronze on stainless. You would do oil rub bronze over solid bronze base material.
Okay.
If you a stainless, then we would offer it to you for you to have it powder coated. But of course that would not be oil rub bronze at that point.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the oil rub bronze is kind of a wide spectrum these days.
No, it's not. I know what you mean when you say that. Obviously, you've got Venetian and 4,000 other variants. The truth of the matter is, to a hardware guy, oil rub bronze means 613, and 613 means oil rub bronze over bronze base material. Or you can have 640, which would be oil rub bronze over a steel base material. But all these other variants, they're not oil rub bronze, and the problem is you get people that use the term, which they shouldn't. They should call it what it is. Like
brown.
Oil, they have a US 10 BE or 613E, which is the powder coated over, and they'll powder coat over the cheapest base material. Sometimes that's stainless.
Right.
But that's oil rub bronze equivalent is where that E is coming into. At least tell you
right.
Equivalent. It's not oil rubbed. So
right.
The hallmark of a hardware guy is to be painfully specific about the finish and more importantly the base material. So
well, as far as finish goes, it's not super important to get.
Right.
We just want the basic color variation of that oil rub bronze. So obviously that dark bronze finish is kind of what we're looking for.
But
we've had
you
success.
Said variation.
Well, it's not like a historical building or anything where we're trying to match anything up. It's just, and it's on the back side of a building, so it's not uber important, and very little of it will ever be seen. We just wanted to match all the other hardware to the best capacity.
Reasonable capacity, okay.
Reasonable. And as far as the bronze, I would worry that it wouldn't be as strong as the stainless steel. I
think there is a perception that it's not as stern a material, but I've seen solid bronze hinges that are, Groucho Marx would have been at the ticket office, at the movie theater. Some hinges are sold that don't show fatigue at all. But of course it depends on, and then if you're going to go, and then if high volume is really what's most important, which is why you're thinking of the toughness of the base material, then you're going to maybe exceed a ball bearing and going with a variant of that concept that will give you the greatest life expectancy. But before all of that, how much use are you going to have on this on a daily basis?
Well, to be honest, there's not a tremendous amount of use.
Okay.
It's a high-end barn. It's the back door. It's not going to see a tremendous amount of use, but it's high exposure. So that's the biggest issue is it's not the amount of use, it's the exposure that it's going to see. And so we would be looking to you on your opinion as far as it doesn't necessarily have to be bearing hinges. We've always enjoyed bearing hinges for their operation, but it could be plain because of the amount of use that it will get. But we definitely don't want to have any issues with corrosion or anything like that.
Okay, so the selection of base material, of course, is for that purpose, with finish being secondary. So I can offer you an oil rub that would be a bronze-based material or a steel-based material. We know steel will not be under consideration until we talk about cost, perhaps. In terms of it being a stainless-based material, I can tell you it would either be satin finish stainless or polished stainless. I couldn't get a manufacturer to powder coat a hinge.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. What would be the basic price difference between those two, like the bronze or the stainless?
Let me tell you. And you said 4x5, and you've done
Correct.
all of the calculations of 5-inch being adequate for your needs of clearance?
Yeah, but I'd like to review that with you.
Oh, okay, sure.
I've got
so let's do the review first.
Okay. I've got a 1 3/4 door, 1/4-inch back set. I've got a 2-inch trim clearance. And the inset was negligible.
Okay, so let's toss that into the tiny little formula.
And actually, the trim is actually 1 7/8. I say 2, just like to have a little bit of a play.
Yeah, you don't want to have it tight to it. Okay. Okay, let's take a look here. So we're going to do 1.75 minus 0.25 per the formula. Door thickness less the back set, which is 1/4 inch, times 2 per the formula, plus 2-inch, which is your clearance, and that's going to put you at 5-inch on the nose. So quite elegantly, 5 inches is the perfect size for you.
Okay. And that would still be able to open 180 from the axis point, or is it?
Well, per the formula, the clearance is measured from the face of the wall to the inside face of the door when the door is open at 180 degree.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
Which would be nice, and then the hinges aren't sticking way out there, looking kind of weird.
Yeah, the other option is to go with something with a 6-inch, and then hardware protruding excessively off the face of a door or a jamb is a hazard. It's just the bottom line. So
yeah, it just looks weird. It
does look weird. I mean, right. I mean, how many people catch it? 1 out of 100,000, but it's obvious. Okay, so 4x5 ball bearing wide throw, and you said security pin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are your security pins? Do they have like a hex set screw that you can pull it out? Okay. All right.
Sir. Okay. So a stainless base material in a wide throw with a satin stainless finish and security pins. Square corners would be okay?
Yes.
Okay, $116 is that hinge.
Okay.
And the oil rubbed is going to be not far behind it in terms of cost. $108.
So really, we're better off doing the bronze.
Yeah, and sure. I've never seen a study on what a hinge looks like after 1 million cycles, identical except for the base material being swapped out. So I don't know. But man, it'll be well past being of any your concern when those hinge knuckles open up a little bit through use.
Now, is that
somebody else's problem.
Well, that's how it's always better when it's somebody else's problem.
Yeah.
Is the so the bronze hinge? That's just standard. That's not a bearing hinge.
Oh yeah, they're both ball bearing.
Oh, they're both ball bearing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you want me to quote you plain bearing?
I like the ball bearings. I mean, if you feel like they hold up well enough outside, because it's essentially an exterior high exposure area. If you feel like there's a problem there, then we would consider plain bearing.
The only time, in my opinion, that a person should consider plain bearing is when it's cost. And the truth of the matter is, it is a minor difference to the tune of about 10%.
We would prefer the bearings, as long as you feel they will hold up and be sealed from an exterior standpoint, not have any issues with that. Then we would prefer that.
Well, I mean, technically the bearings they're going to have to be a non-ferrous base on those bearings. They are disparate materials, of course, in the sense that different metals are making contact, but I really think that we might be worrying about the nuance of, the elliptical nature of the planet Pluto's, transit across the sun. It probably just doesn't matter.
Yeah. So those will be steel. Essentially, the bearings will be steel.
No, they'd be a non-ferrous base material, so they've got to be stainless. They're not going to pump a piece of steel into that. It'll have to.
Okay.
Yeah, I am concluding without knowing for fact, or maybe I did one time and simply forgot. It will have to be non-ferrous.
Okay. All right. Okay. So it sounds like the bronze ones are the way to go for our project. Now, what is your lead time? I'm assuming those are just made to order. I don't know if you carry those. Yeah.
About 3 weeks generally.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay. And do they come with screws, or do we need to look at that?
Screws are included.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let me review this with the homeowner and make sure that's the way they want to go, and let me get back to you. What was your name?
My name is Richard, and when you order them, regarding the screws, specify the composition of the door and frame so that they don't send you half of what you need and all of what you don't need. So, if it's all wood, specify all wood screws.
Okay, got it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let me get back to you with the next few days, and I'll let you know which way we want to go on that.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, what else are you doing over there? Are you just hinges, or I saw your website that looked like you were primarily hinges, but what else? You got other hardware you do?
Yeah, broadly speaking, if it pertains to a door opening, we would supply it, primarily commercial in nature.
Okay.
Every aspect of the door and frame itself, including the door and frame.
Oh, okay. All right, good to know. All right, well, I appreciate that, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Architectural Builders Supply hopes you have enjoyed this program.